Well, it's gonna switch from upcoming to live now. It did do that. All right.
I hate that I
Oh
just.
no.
Okay, I saw this. Why did Harrison fire back the jutsu against the same nature instead of firing it back against his inferior nature? Is he stupid? He's got a point. I mean, it looks cool this way, but Harrison should have been doing water style on the fire and so on. Like,
Yeah. You're not wrong.
yeah, it's cool if he does it this way.
Yeah, but in universe, what was he aura farming? Just doesn't care about the war. Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah, that's something. The Bijou capable of performing ninjutsu. Well, yes. Here's one right here. Shikaku literally uses sand. That is ninjutsu.
Technically, Kurama does the Phoenix Flower Jutsu.
You know, I also was wondering, yeah, what's up with Kurama's fire spitting when he's in the Eight Tails form?
I mean, it's cool. It works for the
You know what? Close out of this. Starting the Dygo rewrite.
Okay.
So late.
Well,
If we're even doing it at this point.
You're not gonna like this. I was.
We just shouldn't at this point.
I was gonna go to the bathroom.
Well, you are absolutely right. I'm not gonna like that.
But it's okay. Because you can.
You know, I have an idea. If we're gonna do the thing that we talked about before, you're gonna play a random stream, and then that'll be the background while you go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I figured you were gonna say that. Okay, so then let me pull up the Dygo React playlist and just do what I did last time, so I can just explain the rules from the past. It actually worked out like perfect timing last time as well. I was off by like 5 seconds or something crazy when I was like listening to it back. Yeah. So as this happens, I can't wait for this music already. Yeah, alright. Okay.
These are some of the best potatoes you may ever have.
Go away, ad. Okay. So
more than zero.
All right. So from this moment forwards, Kamui, just be quiet.
It's infinitely more than zero.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm ready for the intro. So, that being said, hello and welcome everyone to the Rewriting the Naruto Rewrite. So, this is a series where me and my friend Kamui are going to be reacting to Dygo Knight's Rewriting Naruto series. Me and Kamui are Naruto YouTubers. We're diehard fans. We have a whole podcast of it. You're on the channel right now. You're just watching it through this playlist, probably. Episode 1. It's going to be a whole thing. We're going to react to the entire Naruto Dygo Rewriting playlist in order, reacting to it, blind reaction, to the first time. Here's the kicker, the twist, the through line. That's not how that word is used, but I'm using it anyways. Here's the crazy unique thing of the reason that you're gonna watch, the interest, the compelling factor. Me and Kamui, we've seen Naruto in and out through thick and thin. We know the series like the back of our hand. We've freaking watched the series backwards at this point. The dub, the video games, the manga, the anime, the freaking... I've watched the play adaptation. I've seen it all. Same with Kamui. We know everything. We're going to pretend like we've never seen Naruto and that Naruto as a series doesn't exist. What we are gonna do, we're gonna pretend like we're watching Naruto for the first time, and Daigo's rewrite of the series is the only version that exists. This is the canon Naruto timeline. Dygo Knight is Kishimoto. With that being said, with Daigo Knight's rewrite being the version of Naruto, we're then going to take that canon version, ignoring the original timeline, and rewriting Daigo's rewrite. So with that being said, Kamui, are you excited to start the first episode?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I got it pulled up right here.
I mean, I know you already told me in the past with the Dygo stream that his story is quite a bit different. So I think that warrants this idea that we have.
I have compared it to fan fictions. With that being said, without further ado, let's start this first episode. Kamui, are you ready to begin Naruto?
I am, starting with the Land of Waves arc.
All right.
Welcome to the Rewriting Naruto series, a series of videos where I'll be rewriting the Naruto.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Glad that Past Me explained that. Thank you, Past Me. So we're ready to begin.
Yes.
To the Rewriting Naruto series part 6, a series of videos where I rewrite Naruto, making changes to improve the series for my personal taste. This is only part 6 of this very long series, so definitely subscribe so you never miss any rewrite videos.
We did
like
that.
this video as well to support the channel and the series, and
Guys,
today's
do that.
goal is going to be 400 likes.
Hey,
if we get over
you know what?
What do you
Give
think,
us
Kamui?
400 likes too.
What do you think, Kamui? Did he hit his goal?
Okay, real quick. Take a screenshot of this because it's hilarious. If you look at it, it's pretty sure it's Payne's piercings. But if you turn your head so that the top of your head to the left, and you look at it, it looks like he has two little eyes over a mouth, and then he's just got like the hair is just like his beard or something. This looks awesome. So actually,
stupid.
I'm taking a screenshot.
Okay. Here, I'm just gonna put this in art for you. So stupid. Oh, I love it. I was gonna say, like, it also looked goofy, but you had a whole different interpretation to me. It almost looks like a mushroom head, almost like something you'd see in Mario.
Yeah, exactly, like Toad or something.
I'm so glad we said that at the exact same time.
This is what I was thinking. It also kind of looks like Ditto's face from Pokemon.
Oh,
Here,
yeah.
actually, no, real quick, leave it there. Leave it there. Go search Ditto.
Okay.
It's a little bit silly, but like, this is just who I thought of. There's probably something else that's actually more right, but Focyon just kind of reminded me of that.
Love it.
But anyway,
Okay.
give us 400 likes.
Oh, and spoiler alert. Yeah, Daigo definitely did hit his 400 goal. So.
Yeah, okay. You know what? He got 5.5k. Give us 5.5k likes.
100 likes within 24 hours of the video's upload. I'll drop
within
the
24
next
hours.
rewrite within a week. If you'd like to further support
I
the
have a guess we're not going to get 5.5k within a week or day or whatever he said.
channel,
Okay,
become a member
400
and get
within a
awesome
day.
perks. Link in the description. Alright,
And become a
we begin
member and
with
you get
Hinata
awesome perks.
sparring
Link
with
in the
her dad in the
description.
Hyuga dojo. He's being very harsh to her, telling her to push herself further, and Hinata seems to be at her limit, sweating balls. Hiashi lands a powerful blow on her.
Wait, hold
She
on.
falls down.
Man, they're just doing like the 64
Hinata was
palms on
sweating
Hinata here.
balls? What is he implying?
Oh, God. I was going to say, Daigo's looped the same animation like 20 times now. Are they just doing the 64 palms on Hinata? Like, what's happening?
Over and over again.
Yeah, like, she just doesn't have time to block a single thing. It's just hit after hit.
Her dad is beating the shit out of her.
Down, and Hiashi says, "Stand up, girl. You must become as powerful as your cousin. My brother sacrificed his life for the main Hyuga branch. I'm not letting his sacrifice go to waste with such a weak heir. You have to become more powerful." Hiashi has become more appreciative of Neji and his brother after what happened
Okay, so I'm just gonna add to the Dygo.
I totally
rewrite
forgot.
Bible.
We're past Konoha Crush.
Yeah, so this is arc, I guess 5. It's a search for Tsunade. I'm adding this to the rewrite Bible. So the first thing is just Hiashi fiercely trains Hinata, I suppose.
Yeah, Hiyashi's still being mean to Hinata.
Yeah.
In the tuning exams, but now he wants to live up to his brother, making sure that his daughter will be powerful enough to lead the Hyuga clan one day, and of course, he is being far too demanding with Hinata. She can barely stand up after that powerful blow. Hiashi says, disappointed and angry, "Get out of my sight, girl. You better get stronger." Naruto's words
Yeah, how dare this not tuning not compare to my Jonin level of strength? What's out of it?
I didn't put a potato in the oven. I wasn't thinking. So I'm gonna walk away for a second.
Okay, well, what a great reaction we're making this, huh, Kamui? I guess what a perfect time to read chat. Alright.
Well, okay, that could work too. I was gonna say I could just listen, but you go ahead and read chat for a second and stall.
Yeah, Bad Monday Gamer YouTube says, hi. Well, Bad Monday Gamer YouTube. Hello. Bartilda is in the house. He's actually been here since, like, before the stream even started. So, what's up, Martin Silva? I saw you since then. But what's a hello, Space? Hey! And, Itami o Kanjiro. Itami o Kangairo. Sekai ni Itami o Shinda Tensei. By the way, so what's up, Spivey? What's up? Shout out Pain. We all love Spain. Except for me, but Kishi Noto's recent interview made me realize just how bad of a writer he is. Not gonna lie. So, Kamui, who's gonna tell him?
Wait, he said Kishimoto's interview?
Well, no, he said Kishi Noto's interview.
Oh, okay. Well, that's new information then.
There's a lot to break down there, Mr. Marsman 4.
So, well, did Ikimoto lie to us and Kishimoto's the writer?
Or does Kishimoto just look like Ikimoto and he like did a doppelganger switch out to be in that interview seat?
Is he pulling an L and just using a fake name?
By the way, I was meaning to ask this to Sauron. What was that interview? It said like Boruto's 9th celebration anniversary special. Was this like an interview at a convention, or like what? Why was it only like a 5-minute interview that asked like 7 questions or something? Like it gave like 1 sentence answers. Who agrees to this type of interview? What was this? Was there more that happened that just isn't interesting to us? Was it like an art showcase? What was this? Well, you are very quiet as you're saying that, but
Well,
fine.
I don't know what it was.
Well, Space says this is odd. Rewatching a past podcast in a current podcast. Let's do this. And then he says,
Sounds like.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, sounds like he really enjoyed it.
He also says, so this is definitely foreshadowing for later Hinata stuff. What, does Hiashi kill Hinata? I know that's not what you were going for, but you get me. Alright, I guess I never noticed how Dygo was adding all this stuff Hinata before he reached Shippuden. And as Kamui was saying,
maybe they'll do like a Hiashi Itachi parallel where Hiyashi's like, you're still too weak. You don't have enough hate. That you know something. You never will.
Shoot, based on how bad Hinata's being psychologically tortured here, I wouldn't be surprised if they do a Hinata Itachi parallel in the future.
Yeah,
Which is
Hinata leaves the
insane.
village to join Uchiha.
She joins the Akatsuki at this rate. To get
That could be
revenge on
cool.
Hiashi. Screw the Tail Beast. Hey,
Yeah.
she'll put a Tail Beast in Hiashi just to go hunt him down. Dygo makes Hinata this important, which is pretty odd. Okay, to be fair, maybe later on, as of right now, he's not making her all that much more important as of right now.
I don't think it's necessarily odd for him to do that.
I mean, she isn't that relevant throughout the series. It's fine if she wants to be a little bit more relevant, considering she probably should have been anyways.
Exactly. Like, I think his point is, this is Naruto's ultimately his love interest in the end. Has some pretty important moments in tuning exams. I don't blame them, but also before moments. I don't blame them for making her more important overall. Also,
Bro, it sounds so foreign to say that Hinata is Naruto's love interest. It just sounds wrong.
I agree. It did sound wrong, as I was saying. That's why I took a couple tries.
I know. Even if it's technically true.
True. It's just, the problem is, it was never his love interest. It just is his lover.
Yeah. Technically love interest for like
awful.
20 minutes in the movie, but...
Exactly. Not even, yeah, it's actually not his love interest anywhere in the manga. It's just... I am back, by the way, but
Well, you said, but do you want me to play it?
yeah, well, I was trying to think, and I realized I already said my piece, so yeah, you can go ahead and play it.
Flash through Hinata's mind. I won't give up. This is my ninja way. Hinata manages to move and get into combat stance, readying herself to resume the brutal sparring they're undergoing. But a voice interrupts her. I could train her, Hiashi-sama. It's Neji.
Nothing makes me angrier.
Wow, you know, nothing makes me
Oh,
angrier
sorry.
either. I'm pretty angry right now.
Who just
Yeah.
At the dojo. Hiashi looks at him and says, well, I don't think that's a bad idea. After all, you master the gentle fist and the rotation by yourself. Hinata looks at Neji apprehensive. Flashes of her last fight against him pass through her mind, and her body language gives away that she is very
that's actually
scared.
crazy. That's
We
right.
cut to
She hasn't
Danzo, who
seen like nice Neji yet because she was passed out. So
Yeah.
she sees Neji's gonna beat her up.
Oh, that's hilarious. Hinata starts like double glancing at Hiashi, like, no, please, it's gonna stop my heart.
And it's gonna be like, it's like Kawaki when he looks in the vase, like it's just like freaks out.
is at the Hokage's office.
Can I also just say, whereas, sure, it's probably just true, it's a little silly, kind of, to use the word mastered. Neji mastered the rotation in Gentle Fist, whereas, yes, it's probably true. He, like, just learned it. And there's no, like, in-between stage. So it's just, like, you either you got it or you don't. If you can perform it, you have the jutsu mastered.
Hey, mastered it.
I don't
I
like the
guess
word
you could
mastered
say,
for it, and he learned it.
I mean, you could look at it kind of like the Rasengan. There's 3 steps. And now I'm not saying there necessarily is 3 steps because spinning a circle is kind of a goofy step, but you have to first emit all the chakra. Like, you have to be a. I don't know. Okay, I don't know if there's a maintenance thing, but like, I mean, you have to be able to do like a chakra emission, like your feet, but from your whole body, all your chakra points, and then spin around in circles and maintain it. I guess.
I mean, where is
that's
yes?
mastery.
I feel like Neji learned it. If anything, master it should be taking what he learned and improving it to its max peak perfected self.
Yeah, like Hiashi with his gigantic rotation Rasengan, I'm gonna call it, because he just does the rotation to just kill people.
Yeah, because saying mastered implies Neji has a rotation on the level of Hiashi, and the only reason that the rotations are different is just because Hiashi just is stronger.
Yeah, but I mean, that's possible. But the way Hiashi does is like insane.
Staring out of the window overlooking the village. He is speaking to the two village elders. So, has the daimyo ratified my position as the fifth Hokage? The elders reply, it will be done soon. We just have to take care of the bureaucracy first. Danzo says, good. Things will finally change in this village. The elders motion to leave the room, saying, we have to take care of other matters now about the destruction involving the recent attack against the village. We'll be back soon with the paperwork you have to fill in for the daimyo.
Honestly, I was so distracted by the voice, I wasn't like paying attention to what he was saying. If you want to,
well, actually, kind of same, because I was not by the voice, but by something else. I was just thinking, like, in universe, is there an explanation for why Danzo didn't try and make a move after Hiruzen died before they went to find Jiraiya for Tsunade or whatever?
The series does not give you an explanation.
So Danzo just conceptually didn't exist yet. That's the only explanation. It was just retcon.
Yeah. He didn't exist. And then you've got the thing that Sakura's theorizing, which is that, but then this gets worse. I know Danzo wasn't actually conspiring with Orochimaru, but they're wondering because of the fake plan with Sai. They're like, oh, maybe Danzo conspired with Orochimaru to destroy the village and recreate it as he see fit. But then, if that's the case, why didn't he try to become Hokage? Kishimoto just didn't address it. Rewind it further, though, to however the start of this conversation.
That she is very scared. We cut to Danzo, who is at the Hokage's office, staring out of the window overlooking the village. He is speaking to the two village elders. So, has the daimyo ratified my position as the fifth Hokage? The elders reply, it will be done soon. We just have to take care of the bureaucracy first. Danzo says, good. Things will finally change in this village. The elders motion to leave the room, saying, we have to take care of other matters now about the destruction involving the recent attack against the village. We'll be back soon with the paperwork you have to fill in for the daimyo. Danzo smiles, still staring.
Wait, I'm curious what that paperwork looks like. Outside of the obvious of like first name, last name, like what does he write down? Here's my reason for becoming Hokage. Here's what I will do during my tenure. Here's how long I plan to be in power. Like, what does he write down? What's on that paper? And I bet we'll never find out.
Staring out of the window, his back facing the office door. We now see Naruto running around the village, offering his help in fixing houses and other buildings that were damaged during Orochimaru's attack. No one accepts his help. The village still...
Okay, I hate to say this. Naruto as a character wouldn't do this. That sounds awful, but I think it's true.
You did in the pain arc at least, but after the pain arc,
That's
I should say. But
different though, and also that was the entire village being destroyed. Part one, Naruto would only do this if it's a mission or if it's related to him in a way that he would specifically care. He's not just gonna go out and randomly do charity work around the village for no reason.
Yeah, I do agree. He's just gonna be like, what about my training?
And only if it catches his eye. Like, if anything, I hate to say it. Even if it's for a mission, if it's like a D rank mission or whatever, he's just going to be bored and slack off and probably fail it anyways. He's gonna do something
about it
to mess up. Yeah, he's just gonna mess it up. He's not gonna care. If anything, he's gonna unintentionally make everything worse. He's gonna accidentally destroy a house they were in the middle of rebuilding.
Maybe that's why they're not accepting his help.
Yeah.
despises Naruto, and after the Nine-Tails display in the tuning exams, they seem to be even more hostile towards him. However, when Naruto's stomach growls, he heads towards Ichiraku to have some good old ramen. As he arrives there, he sees that the small restaurant was heavily damaged during the attack. The old man and the pretty lady who own the place are working very hard to fix it. Naruto says, "Old man, need a hand there?" Teuchi, Ichiraku's owner, says, "Naruto,
okay, this he
that'll
would
be
do,
great."
but,
Naruto uses the
do you think, okay, so narratively, what do you like better? This can apply to either Orochimaru's. I'll ask the same question for Orochimaru's invasion and the Pain invasion. Ichiraku Ramen gets destroyed or partially destroyed. Like obviously the people will survive, but the restaurant gets destroyed, or it's the one building that doesn't get destroyed.
I think it's the one building that doesn't get destroyed, because in the Pain arc, it's all the more impactful when it is destroyed.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to do one of each. Okay, yeah. The shining bright light for Naruto.
I mean,
and then when
it
Pain
would
destroys
ruin
it,
the
and that's when
moment.
he goes for it.
It would absolutely ruin the moment, but it would just be hilarious if somehow Pain just missed Ichiraku Ramen. Does it make sense?
It's just the one building that doesn't get destroyed.
In the middle of the crater. It just doesn't make sense. It's like a Looney Tunes.
It's just still standing.
Like, Hinata and Pain are just, like, shadowboxing around the building or whatever.
I mean, it still would be funny if, like, it does get destroyed, so Teuchi, he comes out with his, like, chopsticks to protect Naruto, and he's yelling at Pain for destroying his restaurant.
I mean, I'm down.
And then when Pain stabs Teuchi, that's when he goes 6-0. It's like...
But anyways.
Back to the rewrite, I guess. I don't know how we got all this. The true secret orb discussion.
Derailment. Well, shout out Dan. Welcome, Dan.
Shadow clone jutsu, creating 5 clones and saying, I have some experience fixing buildings, you know? Did that on a mission once, believe it. We then see that Naruto is actually very helpful to Teuchi and the girl doing his best. Ichiraku's owner says, Naruto, that'll be great. Naruto uses the Shadow Clone Jutsu, creating 5 clones and saying, I have some experience fixing buildings, you know? Did that on a mission once, believe it. We then...
So by the way, did he do that on, like, the Crystal mission? Like, what's he referring to there?
I think so.
Okay, well, I'm looking at the Crystal mission right now. Naruto protects people.
Probably didn't write that specific... I don't think you wrote down that detail for obvious reasons.
Yeah, but... Okay. Naruto beheads someone. That happened.
Also, he's making Believe It still canon. He's keeping it.
Let's go.
It seems like the owners of Ichiraku are one of the only people in the village who like Naruto, and Naruto is more than happy to help them.
I ordered 200 hand-forged knives for my dorm room and built a Wix website to sell them.
I think this is a nice moment for Naruto to help in the repairs of the iconic restaurant that he loves so much. Also, that crap with Konohamaru and Naruto losing his Ichiraku voucher is all anime filler. It really tanked.
You know, I figured he was gonna say something like this. I don't believe him. I do believe, because he's including this, he has plans to actually use Teuchi somewhere later in a bigger way. Because he's making this. I don't think... Right now, he's making this out to be like a happy-go-lucky, just a reminder. You know, it's a reminiscent kind of good vibe. It's a feeling. That's why I'm at... I don't believe it. I think he has plans.
I do too, the same way that we I know we're half memeing, but half serious. So we've literally... Pretty sure we did like a stream where we talked about the Teuchi taking Hinata's place to rewrite, and it just was the saddest thing ever. Like... And thematically, it does work. So.
Yeah. Now, that's not to discredit or invalidate what he is saying here. It is everything he's saying. It is still a happy-go-lucky, positive vibes, reminiscent kind of thing. Good reminder, back to episode 1. It is still all of that, and that is a reason that he is adding that here. The more direct reason, but the technical, real reason would be that he is setting it up for something, is my opinion.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like he's making it a point to set up like everything he wants, like Hinata, Madara, Teuchi.
Yeah.
Thanks the pacing and it doesn't do anything for the story, so I'm trying to do something different and more meaningful here.
That art is so good. I love this picture.
Hinata's face, though.
Yeah, I know. Also, who is this?
Himawari.
Who is serving the ramen?
Is that young Teuchi? Is that Ayame's boyfriend?
Oh. Who should have been Konoha? Actually, no, it should not have been Konohamaru. There's a big age gap.
Yeah, Ayame's older than Naruto.
Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Honestly, maybe that's just Ayame's child at this point, because Ayame is older than Naruto.
I know.
So.
Well, I'll never forgive the Boruto filler that almost kind of sort of implied Teuchi's dead now. But until they confirm it, he's just not.
I don't remember. I remember the idea what you're talking about, but I don't remember what it was specifically that implied it.
It wasn't like really all that there, but I mean, I bet if I look up "is Teuchi dead now," I bet it'll pop up.
Try it.
In Boruto, ? There's no definitive information, blah blah, I know. How would you want his final send-off to look like? Oh yeah, okay, that is a thing. Is that it's not dead, but they definitely implied he's at least retired, but I think they might have implied more than that. I mean, either way, if he did retire, that's basically killing him off, so.
Not exactly, but Ikimoto sure as hell won't be riding him.
We'd be lucky to get Sakura, let alone Teuchi.
Exactly.
Yeah. I could be wrong.
That said,
it might have just been that he retired.
I almost would be happy. I would be more excited if they did Teuchi over Sakura.
Not wrong.
But it should be Sakura.
Mm-hmm. If anything, it could have been pretty thematic if Teuchi retired into Blue Vortex because Naruto's not around anymore either. So, like...
Oh, yes!
Specifically because of his lifelong past as well.
Exactly.
So, I think that works. Now, if only Ikimoto did that.
Yeah, if only Ikimoto would ever think of doing that.
Yeah, by the way, shout out Boruto, who looks as bored as a nail.
So what do you think Sasuke's looking at specifically? Is it Sarada who's looking at Sakura or whoever? Is he looking at Sakura? Is he looking at Hinata, Naruto, Himawari, or Boruto? Is he looking at Ayame's potential boyfriend or son?
Well, see, I was thinking he was looking to see if Ikimoto made sure to remember to draw Boruto's whisker marks in this panel.
Whiskers, yeah.
He forgot.
He's looking to see if Boruto has the Byakugan or Jogan.
Oh, yeah.
Do anything for the story, so I'm trying to do something different and more meaningful here. We cut to Sasuke. He is laying on his bed.
So are we gonna get back to the video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not bedridden, but very tired and feeling pain all over his body. It seems like the curse mark has taken a heavy toll during his fight against Gaara. Still, he thinks about the power boost he gained from it, how it felt almost intoxicating, consuming him. And he also remembers Orochimaru saying that he could give more power to Sasuke. Power.
So wait, hold on real quick. I'm a little bit confused. Was Sasuke just not knocked out in this case?
When?
What's search for Tsunade? Oh, Itachi hasn't come yet.
I thought you meant versus Gaara. I was like, he doesn't get knocked out. Anyways. Maybe for like a minute, but...
Yeah, I was just thinking like Itachi had already come.
And see, that's your problem for thinking that that is search for Tsunade. Are they searching for Tsunade? Then it is not the search for Tsunade arc yet.
Yeah, they were searching for Tsunade at that point. That's the thing you just can't understand.
It's a thing that just isn't happening.
Cut back to Hinata and Neji. They're about to start sparring. Both of them have their Byakugan activated. Hinata, though, looks absolutely scared. Neji says, "I'm sorry, Lady Hinata, for what I did and said in the preliminaries. That was wrong." Hinata is surprised after hearing that. Neji says, "That Naruto, huh? He really has a way with words." Hinata blushes after hearing Naruto's name. But he's right. No one is tied to their destiny, and everyone can trace their own path. My father knew that, and it just took me longer to understand it. Hinata says, with relief and glad that Neji has undergone a change of heart, "I'm sorry, Neji, for what happened to you, but if I can do anything to..." Neji cuts her and says,
So, this isn't a rewrite, but a fan fiction. It would be fun, not good, not better, but fun, to see an alternate version of the story to where Neji just doesn't change from Naruto's words, and Neji just still believes he's right. It just keeps the fierce, evil persona, demeanor, all that. I want to see that version of the timeline.
I mean, I would also be interested, but I'm also, I mean, there you go. Yeah, if we just make a what if video, we just think about it.
Yeah. Okay, write that down here. I'll do that
Also,
right now.
when he says Neji cuts her, he doesn't say cuts her off. He just says cuts her. So I just imagine he just like scratches her.
Stupid. Do we have a video idea area? I guess it is just pinned messages. Okay.
Okay, we should just make a video idea area.
You're not wrong.
Which is also what IRL Naruto YouTube tricks and April Fool's for, but we just have another one for actual videos.
By the way, earlier
Collab
today,
video ideas.
I just bit the bullet earlier today, and I just went ahead and did it. So now we have intro topics and intro pictures. So we'll have to like organize that later off stream, but it exists. It's there. I'm gonna put it in place right now, actually.
It's crazy, though. Intro pictures.
We have way too many of these rooms now. But whatever. Okay.
"What I want is for you to get stronger. I hate seeing you being treated like that by your father. I feel like I inadvertently caused it, so it's my responsibility to make sure you get strong. That's also what my father would have wanted. Now, show me your stance." Hinata does so, and they both start to spar. We cut.
You can kind of tell that Daigo's like reading from a script when he's saying the dialogue. He's like almost like pausing for like a millisecond in between those like sentences. But anyway.
To Danzo as he hears the door behind him opening. He is still staring at the village with a grin on his face and says, "Back already? Have you the paperwork?" There's no response.
All right, Gabby from Vegas, let's go ahead and pack.
Well, that's definitely a response.
So your brownie batter went back in stock
Not
today.
the response I want.
For
I
a
wish it
couple
was
of
a
seconds,
response.
the room is completely
Their
quiet.
response.
Yeah.
Danzo then, finding that strange, turns around and sees something that absolutely terrifies him.
Hiruzen!
However, doesn't see what Danzo sees. They only see Danzo's terrified expression. A day passes, and now
Oh, okay. Let's make theories. What do we think it actually is going to be?
I looked away, so I don't know what he was shown.
Just Danzo's terrified
it's-
expression, and the point is that we don't know what it is yet. We only see Danzo's terrified expression. Daigo's saying that.
What?
So.
What is the image of Danzo, though? Just out of curiosity.
You can't see it. It's Danzo having a terrified expression.
Well,
I think
I'm
it's
upstairs right now.
when he sees the Genjutsu Itachi. I could be wrong. No, it's
Okay,
it's not that
oops.
because he still has a bandage around his eye. So I don't know when this is.
Okay, hold on. Leave it there then, because give me a minute.
It doesn't matter! What do you think it is?
I'm gonna guess it's Tsunade. I don't know, random. There, gave an answer. You give one. Can't steal mine.
Tsunade would be cool, but I don't think that makes sense because
It's the
Tsunade's
search
just
for
not
Tsunade
there.
arc.
Yeah,
probably
so if
doing
they've
that.
already found a Tsunade,
Well, they
don't
haven't.
need to have
Danzo
Dark.
did.
And Tsunade's not supposed to already be in the Weak Village.
Yeah, but this is a rewrite. She could do whatever. We don't even know who Tsunade is yet. She could have a totally different character.
So
Or-
I
oh.
don't know.
Ooh, I have another
Everything,
answer.
yes.
Be equally
My
arguably
answer is
as
gonna-
good. But go ahead, give yours.
My answer is going. Okay, so Hiruzen's ghost is the funniest answer, but
It's not gonna be that.
my answer is gonna be Jiraiya because Jiraiya is basically gonna be like, yeah, I'm not letting you be Hokage, bro. I'm gonna get Tsunade, blah blah blah, and he's gonna like talk to the elders and blah blah blah, and they're gonna make it so that Tsunade is Hokage. Because I don't think Daigo's gonna have Danzo be Hokage for the next several arcs.
But he wouldn't have... Danzo would not have a terrified expression just because he sees Jiraiya there before Jiraiya says anything when he knows
maybe Jiraiya's
been
looking
around.
at him with a smoldering face or peeping on girls, or he's just being scary. He's looking at Danzo like, I'm gonna get you, bro. He's looking at him like Madara's living black rod. I'm gonna get you,
bro. Okay. Jiraiya would have to look at Danzo like freaking Yelena looked at Armin. Okay, Jiraiya's not gonna do that. It doesn't matter if Jiraiya
Maybe
looks
he
serious.
does in this rewrite.
Okay, but Danzo's not gonna react if he's just looking serious generally. Okay.
Well, anyway.
They only see Danzo's terrified expression. A day passes, and
right. Okay, so my alternate guess, if it's not Tsunade, this is arguably better. It's Lady Shizune or Tauntaun. And Danzo obviously knows what that means. I think that...
Okay. My answer is going to be Jiraiya still.
Okay,
But...
I think that arguably works better than Tsunade. Because, like, they're, like, scoping it out, you know, getting there first, maybe, like, scouting, something like that. Yeah, wherever they go, Tsunade goes. It's like when one follows behind,
I will say, though, I think Danzo being terrified of anything other than Hiruzen's ghost or Orochimaru or something is like kind of ridiculous. But maybe it's Itachi. What if he sees? Oh my god! What if he just sees Itachi like in the distance?
Oh, it probably is that. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? That's the thing he'd be most. I'm changing my answer to Itachi.
Okay,
this is the time for him to invade. Danzo would be terrified here. That's the retcon reason for Itachi showing up is, and I see retcon in the sense of Danzo. It's to warn Danzo. He's gonna have Itachi confront Danzo.
Yeah, Dygo for sure. It's Dygo. He's definitely doing a big Danzo Itachi thing. That's for sure happening.
Yeah, so it's Itachi. I can't believe you didn't instantly think of it.
Yeah. That being said, I am going to double down, stick to my answer just for fun. It's going to be specifically Tauntaun, and the audience watching for the first time isn't going to know who that is yet or understand what that means. Danzo obviously is. But that's why it's going to be so hilariously humorous that Danzo's shaking in his boots, quivering, freaking sweating all the Ikimoto sweatbands just from looking at Tauntaun. It's like, what is happening?
But who is it?
Oh, it's just a pig. Like, it's cool subversion of expectations. It's like, oh, wow.
Who arrives at Ichiraku early in the morning to resume the repairs. Teuchi says, we should be done by noon, and then I'll make you a very...
Okay, I also just realized, because it almost definitively is going to be Itachi, of all expressions for Danzo to have at any specific... when he's looking at Genjutsu Itachi would have been the time to use this. So hey, props for Daigo if that's what he's doing.
Think about that, yeah, that was foreshadowing.
Resume the repairs. Teuchi says, we should be done by noon, and then I'll make you a very special bowl of ramen on the house now.
I think this is kind of cool, though, because Naruto's repairing the ramen shop. Itachi, like, immediately after, goes to the ramen shop.
He goes to a different place, but I think you should just rewrite it so that it is the ramen shop.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, it's funny how both in the real story as well as Daigo's rewrite, Teuchi just is always giving Naruto free meals anyway, to the point that bro just gave him the lifetime pass because he was already doing it.
Yeah. By the way, can I just point out how ridiculous it is that Itachi and Kisame stopped at a restaurant to eat? In general, at all.
They're just allowed to do that.
Like, can you just imagine if Deidara and Sasori just did that during their sand invasion?
Okay, that could have been funny though. If it's like a running gag, they constantly always do that.
Yeah, like I guess when the Pain one does it, when they throw, I think it's the animal path into the village, like on top of the barrier or whatever, he like lands inside the village. He summons the other 6 Pains in the ramen shop.
No. All the paths of pain are summoned, and then they just each go to like a different shop.
No, okay, I got one for you. The animal path walks into the ramen bar. Teichi's like, dinner for one? And the animal path is like, no, actually, summoning jutsu. 6.
Dinner for 6. To a party of 6. He's like, what do you mean? Summoning jutsu.
Yeah. That is the best way to do it. The best way to do it. Absolutely.
Oh, that's the contrast between Itachi and...
Oh, I love that so much.
Naruto smiles in excitement. Then I'll double my efforts. We also get a shot from the village, and we can see a glimpse of the 2 Akatsuki robes walking with the crowd. We cut back to Naruto as the repairs at Ichiraku are finished. We see at a distance that Hinata was watching them repair the restaurant, and she was paying very close attention to Naruto with her Byakugan activated. She has bandages all over her body because of the intense
Okay, it's kind of silly that Hinata just like watches Naruto from a distance like normally, but like as time goes on, she just gets further and further distances to the point that she just needs her Byakugan to stalk Naruto.
Instead of just like helping build the ramen shop.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I'm surprised because this is written by Dygo instead of like anime executive producers. I'm surprised Dygo didn't just have that be a scene between Hinata and Naruto there.
I would be like, would you like me to help? You know.
Like Naruto's about to like trip over his shoelaces and like Hinata like catches the wood that was gonna land on, like, oh, I got you, Naruto. Oh, you need a helping hand?
She did yesterday.
The way you said that sounded like a cartoon character, but not like Hinata, but like who it is. Like, I don't know, it sounded like someone.
Okay, that being said, if Hinata did offer in this way, I could totally imagine Naruto having like a flashback to like him, the rivalry with Sasuke with the tree climbing training. And like the entire time he's just like speedily trying to race to build the ramen shop because he thinks he's competing with Hinata, and the whole time Hinata's like depressed because she thinks Naruto's just trying to get done with this as fast as possible to get away from Hinata. That could be a funny scene to play with.
Or no, or what if she like, it's like the ramen thing where she just does it insanely fast and beats Naruto anyway.
I was thinking because she's depressed, she would do it extra slow, and Naruto, expecting good competition out of Hinata, is gonna be like getting angry at Hinata, like, what do you do?
No. Hinata's like, she doesn't want it to end, so she starts distracting Naruto's stalling, which
like using her gentle fist to destroy the ramen shop. Like, oh, Naruto, I think you missed a piece. You missed a spot.
Oh, it's so funny for Hinata.
Naruto into the restaurant and starts to make him some ramen. Hinata sees that and swallows. She clenches her fists and summons...
Okay. I hate to pause immediately. Because of the way he worded that, I randomly thought, why is Hinata swallowing ramen right now? I'm gonna play that back so you can get what I was going for.
In sparring she did yesterday. Teuchi invites Naruto into the restaurant and starts to make him some ramen. Hinata sees that and swallows. She clenches her fists and summons the courage to approach Naruto. We cut to Jiraiya spying on the bathhouses with his spy glass.
I hope you're gonna say the same thing I'm gonna say.
This is funny. Okay. So I was imagining this scene under the context of what we just described of them like working together.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was imagining that she was already there working with Naruto as she saw him as well.
Okay, this is not what I was gonna say. What I was gonna say is the scene of them working together, like because Naruto's looking at her as this like fierce rival or whatever, like, the level of Sasuke. Oh, he just has to beat her. And then like Naruto looks over at her and sees her doing the hand signs for like the summoning jutsu. She like hits the ground, and Naruto's like spending this big display of like impressive level of Gamabunta levels of power. And Naruto starts preparing his own Gamabunta, but then like nothing happens at all, and Hinata just walks away, and then like
later on, like Naruto's like, what was that? And Hinata's like, oh, I was just summoning my courage.
So
Naruto has like that cliche shocked expression we just looked at. So, this could be a whole filler episode.
Naruto summons Gamabunta like out of fear and destroys the ramen shop over Hinata's courage.
Okay. Why are we making a filler episode on par with Kakashi's mask?
Like you said, why aren't we the Boruto writers?
Exactly.
And then we get the same scene where the elders offer Jiraiya the 5th Hokage position. The scene goes exactly the same with one addition. Jiraiya, when offered the position, says, well, I thought Danzo was gonna take it. And the elders reply, Danzo got cold feet at the last second. I'm afraid you are our best option for now. And
okay, so the elders, I think, are lying there, right? They just don't want Danzo to be Hokage?
Okay, it's one of two things. Either they're lying because they don't really want Danzo to be Hokage, or it's gonna be like a flashback thing to where Danzo sees Itachi, gets scared, and says, I'm not gonna do it anymore.
Yeah.
Both of which I could see. Because earlier on, they had the elders just leave, like, Danzo's blabbing on, and like, oh, okay, yeah, we gotta go. But...
yeah. But I mean, the elders are just as guilty as Danzo in terms of Itachi, and so I don't think Danzo would be like, yeah, guys, actually, I'm not gonna do it now. I think he'd be like, hey, guys, Itachi's here. Let's hold off on the whole Hokage thing for, like, till he's gone. unless Danzo... Itachi confronted Danzo off screen, and we're gonna like cut back to that later.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I think it is, but
okay, that could work.
I mean, I hate this. So on one hand, I agree with you, and on one hand, I disagree. So in terms of the story, they just do make Danzo more to blame than any of the others, and I mean that in the literal sense, not just like the way they act. Like, first of all, they specifically say Itachi came to the village to warn Danzo. You know.
Okay. Yes. Danzo's technically more to blame, but I mean,
he's
like,
also the one who literally told Itachi to do the massacre. He's also the one in the filler episode or whatever, just being like, he's the one with the pointer and the chalkboard and all that, doing all that shit. So like, and he's also the one in the meetings when Hiruzen's like, oh, can you buy us time? And he's like, no, we gotta kill him, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, so Danzo is, like, the main guy there. But Itachi should be fairly evenly annoyed with all of them.
I think evenly annoyed is a little bit downplaying it, but I see what you mean. And I think you know what I meant when I said, like, equally responsible. Because, yes, Danzo is the main guy, but, like, as... the elders, they're all like equally responsible in this way.
Yeah, the elders just didn't do shit. Ever. What have the elders ever done? Besides the Old Man Geno filler arc where they helped got rid of a couple of paper bombs.
Yes.
Why do the elders even exist? Just for that Tsunade scene I like.
If anything, they should have been rooting on the paper bombs because they didn't like those unsightly Hokage statues. They want their statues up there. The Hokage don't deserve it. We do.
I think I've said this before, but I feel like the elders just shouldn't exist other than the fact that I like that one scene of Tsunade yelling at them. The only thing I like from the elders. Other than that, yeah, they might as well just go.
You know, yeah.
Then the scene.
They're also really nice at Hiruzen's funeral. The ones talking or whatever.
I mean, I still do just like the grannies open her eye to look at Boruto when he's sus or whatever. You know, that one singular panel that I liked the look of.
Yeah.
I liked the look of that panel.
But panels like that, they always drive me nuts because I get like the Asian eyes thing, but like at the same time, because they're opening their eyes in that moment, now I can only say they must just have their eyes closed because it looks like their eyes are closed, not squinting. And then when they open them, they look like opened eyes. So they just were walking around with their eyes shut 24/7. Why? Why does Danzo do that? Why does Razor and Hunter x Hunter do that? Why does so many people do that?
Listen, if Araya can cover his eyes, then the limits are
Yeah,
boundless.
wait, is Araya inspired by Gojo? Like, are we expecting a Gojo reference or something?
Or was that was the Gojo reference? Bro, I'm not gonna lie. People like Gojo, and he's just mean. He's just a jerk.
To be fair, though, people do like a lot of asshole characters in it.
Yeah.
As long as they're funny when they're mean.
Yeah. And you can say he is, but, you know what I mean. I don't know. We definitely don't want to get into that right now.
Way it did in the original. Hinata takes a seat
Yeah.
next to Naruto in Ichiraku. Naruto is spooked by her. She was extremely quiet while she sat down and approached Naruto, so much so that he didn't notice her until she spoke. Naruto-kun, good job on the exams. Naruto, spooked and a little confused, says, "Oh, Hinata, yeah, thanks. You know, you helped me a lot down there. You gave me the strength to continue fighting." Hinata blushes and says, "I only..."
Okay. When Naruto said, "You helped me a lot down there," am I the only one? No?
So you read that in the Dygo Rewrite Bible? Hinata helped Naruto a lot, quote unquote, down there.
Okay.
Hey, that's not what he means.
Did what you did for me. You know, when you cheered me on in the preliminaries.
Oh, okay.
I felt
She did what
like I became
she did
strong-
for her. So Naruto helped her down there, too.
I'm not writing that down.
before. And when the preliminaries were over, I started to like myself just a little bit more. From the outside, I might not seem different, but I think I've changed. Naruto, it's all because of you. At least that's
Wait, real
what
quick.
I think. Naruto.
Didn't Dygo remove the pre-Neji fight conversation with them? So in a sense, this is kind of that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Let me check the rewrite Bible. I think he might have said he's gonna add it later, but maybe this just is him directly doing that instead of just saying he's gonna do it, and it happens off
Yeah.
screen. Let's see.
I think this is him doing it.
Yeah, let me just double check. Neji encounters Sasuke and Force of Death, and we're gonna be beyond that. The Jiraiya is ashamed to have the village. Naruto and Hinata don't talk. Naruto stays nervous, and Hinata sees that. And that's all that I wrote down. So, okay. Hinata cheers for Naruto in the Neji fight. Okay.
So did Naruto hear her? Yeah, Hinata must have been loud because she was like on the freaking top floor over there.
You say that when Naruto and Sasuke can hear each other casually talking to one another in the Final Valley across the statue heads with a loud ass waterfall there.
Well, at least they don't have a giant arena of people screaming and shouting.
Yeah, they only have a Niagara Falls to listen to in between them.
I don't know what's louder. Never been there.
Okay, well, just based on the volume in the anime, it
I know that
sounds like
the
waterfall's louder.
Professional sports games are pretty loud, though. You ever watch a basketball game on TV? Yeah, that's on TV, not even in the real plays.
Okay, bro.
Opens a warm smile and says, "Wow, because of me? I guess I'm on some influence. But, you know, I screw up so much. I don't think you should be taking me as an example for anything." Hinata says, "That's not true. And even if you mess up, if you ask me, you're a proud failure. You're really inspiring to watch. Because
Yeah,
you're
he's
perfect
putting that
and
scene
you
here.
make mistakes and still you have the guts to get back up and keep fighting. That's what you taught me."
So, I don't know why he's not just saying he's adding that scene here, and he's just redubbing the scene, but I'm down to hear him redub it.
I don't know, it's kind of funny, though.
What I think is extra funny is obviously this takes up like a decent amount of time, as it naturally should, with natural dialogue, but Daigo is just reading it off without any of the like pauses where they should be or pauses where they shouldn't be. It's weird. It's just saying the words how Hinata sounds in Daigo's impression voice. It's just like a one continuous sentence paragraph, basically. Just get through it. It's just funny. It's just the scene.
I mean,
like,
maybe the ever so slight subtle changes in dialogue are part of the rewrite.
Ooh.
Me, Naruto, and that's what I consider true strength. I believe you are an incredible person, Naruto. Naruto says, thanks, Hinata.
I mean, he's just quoting her, though.
You?
Yeah.
Hinata blushes even more. No, what did you think? Well, I thought you were some sort of weirdo. Dark and plain and timid.
Stop it!
I can't like folks like you. Hinata averts her gaze, grinning and blushing. She is obviously happy. A little taken aback by Naruto's statements, but still happy. And that's essentially...
Okay, before we get to it, do you think he's going to outright remove or just change or keep the same the "I like people like you" line?
Well, he just did it there. He said folks like you.
Oh, was I talking over it? Folks like you?
No, you just paused it 10 seconds after.
Yeah, he's saying like the shy, timid stuff or whatever, but he doesn't.
But he already said, I kind of like folks like you.
No, I just didn't hear that. I was listening to the shy, timid.
Yeah.
Says, thanks, Hinata. You know what I thought about you? Hinata blushes even more. No, what did you think? Well, I thought you were some sort of weirdo. Dark and plain and timid. But actually, I think I kind of like folks like you. Hinata averts her gaze,
folks
grinning
like
and
you.
blushing. She's obviously happy. A little taken aback by Naruto's statements, but still happy. And that's essentially the scene we got before Naruto fought Neji in the tuning exams when he taught.
It's not
Hinata,
essentially
but I
the scene
moved
we
up
got.
here and
It
also
is
added
the
some
scene we
stuff
got.
as well, because I just think it fits better. Hinata having the strength to go approach Naruto, and also, as I mentioned in the previous part, having that scene before and making Naruto not doubt himself was something I didn't like in the original. Naruto smiles, looks at her and says, so, do you like ramen? Hinata looks up with a radiant expression.
Okay, that is
as she's
hilarious.
about
I
to
love
answer
that
him,
for
but
Naruto.
She is interrupted. Hinata, what are you doing here?
Should've said
Hiashi
that.
Hyuga pulls her by her coat, yanking her out of her Ichiraku seat. Naruto immediately gets up and says, who do you think you are, manhandling her like that? Hiashi looks at Naruto in contempt. Her father.
Okay, real quick on the "Do you like ramen" line, it would have been hilarious if Hinata didn't realize Naruto was asking her to go eat ramen, and she's just like, "No, why?" So random, Naruto.
Okay, real quick. I love the way he just said, like, I'm her father. I want to listen to it again.
Okay.
Of her Ichiraku seat. Naruto immediately gets up and says, who do you think you are, manhandling her like that? Hiashi looks at Naruto in contempt. Her father. And you, Hinata, you'll go back to sparring and training. Naruto says,
To be fair, based on how Naruto was yelling at him and the way that Naruto would have been yelling at him in the actual anime, I could totally see Hiashi saying that. It's Naruto's being
I'm
very
not saying
loud.
it doesn't fit. I'm just saying it made me smile. Her father.
says, no, she'll enjoy some ramen. Give her a break. Hinata says, Naruto, it's alright. I have to go back to training. He's right.
She'll enjoy.
Lemonade, pet, insurance.
I love that.
I love this scene way more than I should.
The drink, your
Hiashi says, and you, boy, you won't be talking with my daughter ever again, understand? The Hyuga clan doesn't associate itself with demons. Hinata
Oh my
snaps at that. No,
Oh,
I
damn.
will be
Hiyashi's a
talking to
dick
him
in this
as I
version.
damn well please, father. You can
Damn well, please.
Oh, jeez, okay. This is not Hinata in this scene.
Yeah. So, Psycho Hinata snaps at Hiashi calling Naruto a demon.
can take everything away from me, but this, I won't let you take my friends from me. Hinata's crying, but she has a determined expression
Wait, hold
on
on.
her face.
Is the subtitles wrong, or did you just say something weird?
Wait, what?
Let you take my
With
friends
this,
from me.
I would let you take my friends from me. Hold on, rewind. Let's listen to him.
Oh, won't let you.
I want to listen to it again, though. Okay, listen to it, but like read the subtitles and then try to read it and hear, and you're just gonna hear what.
You can take everything away from me, but this, I won't let you take my friends from me. Hinata's crying, but she has a determined expression on her face. She says, I'm sorry, Naruto. Maybe we can have ramen another time. She jumps away, leaving Naruto and her father behind. Hiashi looks at Naruto and says,
I think in canon, that's what she actually would have said. She wouldn't have done the,
I'm not letting you take this away from me.
she would not have said that. She just would have said, like, sorry, Naruto, we'll do this another time. Which would have been going against Hiashi, but...
Yeah, she definitely would say, I'll talk to us, damn well, please. That's a new Hinata.
She's learning from me now.
That doesn't mean I don't like it. I just don't think that would be Hinata.
Well, I immediately thought of Road to Ninja Hinata.
Well, he basically showed that Hinata.
Yeah.
And you stay away from her. Naruto stares back at him and says, oh yeah? Why don't you make me? They stare at each other for a long moment, and then Jiraiya arrives, diffusing the situation as Hiashi respects Jiraiya enough not to mess with Naruto in front of him.
Okay. It would have been really funny if instead of Jiraiya arriving, it just was Itachi. Imagine that. That would have been crazy.
That would be crazy too, but I would have wanted Hiashi to just keep arguing. Like, he's remember, the mightiest clan in Konoha, and he's the leader. He just thinks he is the top dog. Like, I just want to like dissing Jiraiya. Be like, you be like, okay, you know that episode of SpongeBob where Plankton roasts the kid, then he roasts the mom, then he roasts the dad, then he roasts the grandma? I want it to be like that. He's yelling at Naruto, then like Jiraiya shows up. And he's just calling him, I was like, you're just a perverted loser. Like, he's just yelling at him. And then, I don't know, Danzo shows up, he starts calling him an old hag, and then Itachi shows up. He's like, you're just a murderer. And then like they're like, wait, what? And nobody wants the best with Hiashi. Hiyashi's going to become the new Dawn of this rewrite.
Now, I'm not saying Hinata would have done this in canon, but, like, hypothetically, if this scene happened, it would have been really cool to move Hinata's snap freak out on Hiashi to Itachi when Itachi tries to kidnap Naruto.
Yeah.
Could be cool.
Now that I added this stuff to the beginning of the Search for Tsunade arc, I'll only make a couple more changes to the arc itself. First, when Sasuke goes to the Uchiha district to read the Uchiha Stone tablet in this arc, it's not as easy as just going down a hidden ladder. He has to go deep down the bowels of the district, and then he reaches a powerful chakra barrier. He activates his Sharingan in front of the barrier, and the barrier recognizes his Uchiha chakra and his Sharingan. The seal of the barrier is temporarily lifted, allowing Sasuke to enter the Uchiha Stone tablet chamber. Within the chamber, there is much more than just—
So I get it. I feel like that's not really necessary, though, because you can't read the Uchiha Stone tablet without the Sharingan, so other people wouldn't think it's a big deal in the first place. It's like hidden in plain sight.
It's also supposed to be a secret. Like, only the Uchiha and Hashirama are supposed to know about it.
Yeah. So I feel like the barrier
like, does Hiruzen know that there's this place?
I mean, I'm fine with it because Koji is in a hidden location and using Genjutsu to like cover up his cave entrance or whatever. But same with Kabuto, he did the same thing. So if consistency wise, it's not a problem. So I'm fine with it, but either way.
Yeah.
Just the stone tablet. There are exotic weapons, scrolls, artifacts, one of which is a white horn devilish looking mask, making the stone tablet hall much more secure than it was in the original for foreshadowing purposes.
Now what I want to say—
Now I'm wondering though, is that mask not going to be an Uzumaki mask, but instead an Uchiha mask then? Or if they steal it from the Uzumaki, what's the lore there?
Yeah.
But anyway—
I am foreshadowing the Reaper Death Seal mask here and some other things as well, and I'm also including the scene to give off the actual importance of the Uchiha Stone tablet. However, there's another difference. Once Sasuke reads the tablet and also other scrolls and documents lying around the chamber, his expression is of complete shock, and this will be important later. Itachi's actions will remain the same during the arc. Some people think they don't make sense in hindsight, but they actually do. He had a pretty elaborate plan that I covered in this video right here if you want to know more about Itachi's moves when he infiltrated infiltrated Konoha. Link in the description. So I'm not changing anything about Itachi because I just think his appearance and his fights in this arc are amazing. And one of the best things in part 1, to be honest. And the entire series. Also, in the anime when Itachi uses his Mangekyo, it appears just as a regular Sharingan. In the manga, his MS is actually hidden at all times, so we don't actually see Itachi's eyes when he uses the Mangekyo. So yeah, that was another anime mistake. Kishimoto hid Itachi's Sharingan because he hadn't finalized the design of Itachi.
It's not just that it isn't shown. He's using his 3 Tomoe Sharingan to cast Tsukuyomi on Kakashi. He just is doing that in the anime. Whereas in the manga, you don't see it. So.
Well, I will say this. For everyone who's like, oh, Obito using Kamui with the 3 Tomoe, Itachi did it too.
In which case, this just is further evidence that I just don't like your Mangekyo Susanoo 4-eyed monster explanation for blind Madara, blah blah blah. Susanoo just is a Mangekyo ability. There you go. It's a simple way to think about it.
Just, first of all, what you said is just not what I said.
It's close enough.
And what I said is the series' explanation for Madara being able to do that.
Yes, it is. I don't
So
disagree.
why are you calling it my thing? It's just the series' thing.
Okay. And it came out of your mouth as well.
Yeah, because I understand what the series is trying to say.
Okay. So, okay, instead of your explanation, should I use a different terminology for you? Your justification?
It's not a justification of what?
Your explanation.
Okay. It's just verbatim the series?
Yes.
Like, if you want to say my justification of Madara being able to do it blind, I would say Itachi did it blind too, in its debut, because of the reason the series gave. Now, if you want to say you don't like any of that because it's a Mangekyo ability and it should just involve the eyes, I can't disagree. But whatever I said wasn't about what should be the case. It's just about what is the case.
It's more so about you bringing that up every single time I just say that the Susanoo is a Mangekyo ability. Well, actually, when the Itachi fight, he explains, shove it.
Well, it's when you say, well, I don't think that's what you say whenever I brought it up. It's probably something more specific. But yes, whenever you say something wrong, like for example, if you say yin and yang backwards, I will correct you. What? I can't just let our dear viewers be misinformed.
Okay, things like the yin and yang, I'm perfectly fine with because I know I get it wrong because I can't be bothered to care to memorize which is which, and I obviously am going to flip-flop those. Just like names in JJK. When it comes to the Susanoo one, I've heard you say it before. I know it's the same as Kaguya fusing with the Tin Tails. Don't you dare correct me on that.
My God, no, that's what I hate.
Know.
Because you always just say Kaguya fused with the Ten Tails, and it's just why are you saying it? Why are you saying that when you know it's that Kaguya is the Ten Tails?
But you know what I mean.
Whereas, yes, why do you insist on saying it?
Because it's easier to say.
No, it's not. It's Kaguya is the Ten Tails versus Kaguya fused with the Ten Tails. There are literally less words. It is easier to say it correct.
So back to the video.
But I think it works great, actually. We don't see Itachi's eyes when he's doing those crazy, stupidly OP powers, which makes them even more terrifying, if you ask me. And I like that the actual reveal of the MS design is through Sasuke's perspective in his flashbacks, so no need to change any of that. The last change I'm making to the Search for Tsunade arc is just something that would naturally happen because of the nature of this rewrite. The fourth Hokage is mentioned a lot during this arc when Naruto is traveling with Jiraiya, and as in the rewrite Naruto knows the fourth Hokage was his dad, of course he would react differently when the fourth Hokage is brought up.
Shout out Minato's 2 teammates, by the way, from the Minato manga. We always wanted more on these two. Yeah, Toji, yeah.
conversation and all that. This wouldn't change the story per se, but you can imagine Naruto's reactions would be much more filled with emotion when anyone talks about the 4th Hokage, seeing that he has a lot of problems with his dad because he sealed a demon inside of him. This would also work as further motivation for Naruto to master the Rasengan, a jutsu his father developed and took 3 years to do so that Naruto can prove to himself, to his father, and to the world, and Tsunade as well, that he is a great ninja, and also worthy of being called the son of a Hokage.
So, okay, real quick. I understand...
That Rasengan looks pretty big there.
Yeah, I understand anime doing its fluff or whatever. So, what is the Rasengan? Because containment. But then, what is this, like, outer ring right here? Is it just glowy light that is just light illuminating off of the Rasengan? Or is this just another outer ring of chakra? And then what is this one? Again, this could just be wind.
Doing the Rasengan, but then he has extra power that he just didn't contain.
Like, I'm fine with, like, the Kamui swirly things here. There's, like, I guess the wind, but like, these are just chakra rings around the Rasengan. Like, hypothetically, if you were standing to the left of Kabuto and you were hit by this chakra ring, what happens?
Maybe Naruto is just doing Boruto's wind style Rasengan.
That he is a great ninja, and also worthy of being called the son of a Hokage. The scene when Naruto first meets Tsunade in that bar will be the first time he ever defends the 4th Hokage, because Tsunade was bad-mouthing the Hokage and the 4th Hokage as well, really bad, and Naruto gets pissed by it. He lunges trying to punch her, so even though he defaces the Hokage statue...
Okay, he shouldn't do this, but it'd be really funny, is if Rewrite Naruto was like defending the Hokage vehemently for like 10 minutes straight, and then at the end he's like, but what you said about the 4th Hokage, that's all true though. Just add that tidbit in on at the end.
It's like, oh, I don't care if you can say what you want about the 4th Hokage, but don't you dare disrespect the first 3 Hokage.
Like, I'll defend them to my own honor, my own life's name, except for the 4th Hokage.
The first 3 Hokage to my father's death. To my father's grave. I'll defend the first 3 Hokage, even if it kills my dad.
He doesn't bet his life on it, he bets his dad's.
Put my dad's life on the line.
And then he intentionally messes up. It's like, oops.
No, and then it's the promise of a lifetime to Sakura. I promise that with my dad's life, Sakura.
Crappy things about the Hokages, including his dad, especially his dad. When push comes to shove, he really respects and admires them, which compels him to defend their honor when Tsunade says all those bad things about the Hokages. The rest of the arc remains the same. It's a very solid arc that I think is very much overlooked.
There's
Definitely
the go.
read it again if you haven't in a while, and if you haven't read it in the manga, it's actually much better in the manga because there's actually a
Why is Naruto's jacket so black here in this panel?
Yeah, I'm trying to. It looks like he's got like a punk, just a punk rock band like type thing going on.
A lot of filler in this arc, which kind of annoys me, but it is great in the manga. My favorite parts are Naruto landing his first Rasengan and Tsunade's arc itself. The arc parts are now.
So even in
I
the
was
manga,
hoping he would shout out the nervous system wreck jutsu and Kabuto refiguring out his nervous system. That's the highlight.
So funny enough, in the manga is still like kind of doing the 2 rings around, but they're not even like proportionally like around the Rasengan. One's like around like Naruto's elbow, the other I guess is around Kabuto. Yeah, I guess around the Rasengan. Yeah. It's only like the upper part here. But then also the other thing I wanted to note, the things here, the lines coming off the Rasengan here, they're not spiraling, they're just going straight out. Whereas in the
just like
anime,
glowing.
the anime it was doing like the Kamui wrapped around thing. Interesting.
Naruto landing his first Rasengan and Tsunade's arc itself. The arc ends with Naruto, Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Shizune returning to Konoha after fighting Orochimaru and Kabuto. Tsunade on her way to become the
I'm still
fifth
waiting for the
Hokage.
flashback
Subscribe
of
to this channel and
Danzo.
please like the video if you enjoyed it.
Or
Let's
not.
reach
Okay.
400 likes, okay?
So he doesn't address it in this arc.
That's weird. It's not just an episode, a whole arc. It just goes unaddressed. So is it not Itachi then?
Yeah, did he just not think about it? Like, did he
Actually-
think it was so obvious that he just didn't think to address it?
And it could still be a flashback thing for later that he is saving. They could do that.
Yeah,
So
it's possible.
I think it could work,
But-
depending on how he does it. I can see it.
I mean, it depends on what he does. At first glance, though, I feel like you just would do it. Like, when Itachi's fighting everyone is when we would get the flashback of Danzo, like, or something.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
It's possible he's gonna wait a really long time as well. So.
I don't think it'll wait that long. I think it'll be pretty soon. I can see him doing it. Don't worry. I got my writer intuitions picking up. You know, my screenwriter's perspective, some may say.
I think one of my favorite quotes ever by Mello is when you were talking about, you kept saying you were a screenwriter, and Mello was just like, "We believe you, man." It was really funny.
Yes, it was. So it is 4:20. Are we ending immediately, or
Yes,
do we? Okay,
we are.
Yes, we
because
are.
I wanted to be asleep at like 2 a.m. And
Alright.
as you can imagine, hasn't happened.
Well, over and out. Ikibo to vote.
Yes, he did.